In this video, you'll witness the secret life and diet of Thailand's remote, long-necked Karen tribe.
I didn't know what to expect when it came to food here, but this is blowing me away.
But first, let's back up. Generations ago, large swaths of Karen people emigrated from Burma to northern Thailand to escape conflict. Here, they can continue their traditional way of life, including their most visually striking custom: the use of heavy bronze coils that remain on the wearer's neck for years at a time.
It is extremely heavy. I cannot imagine having this around my neck or on my shoulders the entire day. It would give me an absolute headache.
So what's the purpose of these rings?
When your neck is exposed, what are your thoughts in that moment?
And what food secrets does this tribe carry with them?
Whoa, that is a lot of flavor.
Well, it all starts here at breakfast.
Good morning. This is my good friend Ethan. He's going to be helping me communicate with you today. This is breakfast. What is inside of here?
It's banana and sticky rice.
Is this something that you would eat ordinarily, like every morning?
อาทิตย์ละ1 ครั้ง
Maybe like once a week.
So it's kind of like a Sunday brunch kind of thing.
พิเศษ
Fantastic.
Here's how it's made. Sticky rice is soaked overnight. Then it's wrapped in a banana leaf together with half a banana. Tie it shut and bring to a boil for a couple of hours.
It is super sticky, kind of watery. It looks like it's pink or red inside. These must be some different kinds of bananas than I've ever had. Well, let's try this out.
อร่อยไหม
I like it. The banana, I think when you boil it like that, it gets much more sweet. I've never had this recipe before. Where does this come from?
อันนี้ดั้งเดิม
It's their own traditional recipe.
Would you say, is this Thai food? Is this Karen food? Is this food from Myanmar?
อาหารของตัวเองค่ะ
It's their own.
I'm loving this. I gotta put that down for a second. I'm watching my carbohydrate intake. You don't have to translate that. So, what is your name?
มะลิค่ะ
Can I ask, how old are you?
36
36.
I'm 37.
ก็เกี่ยกว่า1 ปี
She's laughing because I look old. Welcome to Asia. I have so many questions. I'm so excited to be here today. Your tribe here, your culture, your people possess very unique customs. Most people watching would be interested about right now is your necklace or your neck ring. At what age did you first have the rings applied or put on?
เริ่มตั้งแต่
Starting from 4 to 5 years old.
Do you remember when that happened?
ได้ค่ะได้
At first she was really excited too, but then at the same time it's very difficult.
The next question, this one's pretty serious. I don't want to get too heavy.
ค่ะ
ไม่อยากให้ยากเกินไป
Do you ever have an itch under there that you really want to scratch and you can't get to it?
เคยมีอะไรคันหรือเปล่าครับ
ก็
ใต้
เอามือล้วงได้
เอามือล้วง
ใช่
Yeah, she does, but their hands can fit underneath.
Oh, thank God. Because that would be my nightmare, is I'm trying to sleep and something I want to scratch and I can't scratch it.
This is called wang, rigid, cold, inflexible bronze. It's a centuries-old tradition, still carried on today by the Kayan, a sub-tribe of the Karen.
Does having this on prohibit any movement? Is there any physical work that's difficult? Carrying stuff, cooking, cleaning, carrying a child? What can you not do?
แต่ถ้าเราใส่นานเราก็
They're very comfortable doing normal work with it on.
เราจะกินข้าวยากมากเลยค่ะ
It's a little difficult to eat because it's blocking their chin, so it's hard for them to open their mouth fully.
Wow. Is that same for you?
ก็ตัวใส่ใหม่ๆ
When they first put it on, she wasn't able to do anything because it hurts a lot, so she just had to sit still and just kind of rest.
Oh no. And then how long did it take to get over that?
Around 12 or 13, they were starting to able to get used to it.
Is that worth it? What is the purpose? Why do women here wear the neck rings?
มันเป็นวัฒนธรรมแล้วเพื่อ
So in their culture, they consider that to be a beautiful thing.
Is the goal to have the longest looking neck possible?
ค่ะ อยากให้ยาวสุดเลยค่ะ
Yeah, they want it as long as they can.
How do you actually increase the length? What are you doing?
The necks of women here aren't actually getting any longer than those who don't wear the rings. Instead, the dense weight of the brass coils pushes down on the shoulders of the young women who wear them, crushing their collarbones, creating only the illusion of a longer neck.
Every 2 years, they'll increase the length of the copper chains. They'll take the whole thing off and then they'll put a new one that is longer.
Elders here proudly don the longest neck coils of all. Sometimes they weigh up to 10 pounds or more.
When it's off, when your neck is nude, exposed, do you ever look in the mirror?
เคยค่ะ
She has. And she says it's very different from other people.
ถ้าเราใส่แล้วเรา
It's nowhere near as pretty as when she has it on.
Understood.
It's hard for me to see how this custom serves the people here. Perhaps not recognizing its benefit is what makes it so hard to understand.
Are there people in the village, young women, who don't do it, who don't want to do it, or does everyone do it?
ก็ตัวนี้ส
In
มัย
this new generation, there are definitely some kids who don't want it. But back when she was a kid, everyone had to do it.
Oh, I had to.
Yes.
So they don't ask, they just tell you.
Yes, it's more like a yes.
For young girls here, wearing the rings is a rite of passage, allowing them access into an exclusive sisterhood, but is a symbol that represents tradition worth carrying into the future.
I'm gonna roll down the river now. And I ain't looking back to the hell where I come from. I'm gonna share my soul with the love of a home. In the place where a freedom is a rocking my soul, I know.
We're at May Rim Plaza, a flea market servicing locals in the countryside. It's packed with shops and a delightful range of food options. Malene makes a pilgrimage here on foot once or twice a week to pick up groceries and essentials.
This is not so far away from your village. This is much more modern, developed place. How long does it usually take you to get to the market here?
ครึ่งชั่วโมง
30 minutes.
Have you been to Chiang Mai?
ไม่ใช่
She has been to the city.
What is that like? Do a lot of people look at you when you're in the city?
เยอะค่ะเขา
Yes, but often they'll cover the necklace with scarf because they don't want people staring at them.
Do you feel comfortable here right now?
โอเคค่ะ
Yes, the people here are used to her.
I'm gonna roll.
So we are here because we want to pick up some food for dinner tonight. What do you need to get?
ซื้อมาลู
Potatoes, ginger, and some pumpkins.
I'm gonna find myself a home.
Almost everyone knows and feels the sense of a stranger in this quiet little village.
Before fleeing to Thailand from Burma 30 years ago, the Kayan lived and maintained a subsistence economy in the mountains based on cultivating rice and grazing livestock. Today, their lifestyle has changed.
The Karen people who came from Myanmar, once they came here, they're not farming. What did people do to earn a living?
ถ้าไม่ทางนาก็ประมาณ
They rely mostly on selling their own products to like the tourists and then using that to buy food.
So was it an immediate thing? You went from agriculture in Myanmar to coming to Thailand and kind of making a living of people who are just curious enough to see you and learn about your culture.
ไม่มีคนมาก่อน
In the very beginning, there weren't that many tourists know about their village. After it started picking up, they called back home to bring more people from Myanmar back to Thailand specifically for the tourists.
Which way of life is easier? The old style, you know, working the land, agriculture, watching after animals, or what you're doing now?
ก็มันที่นี่ง่ายกว่า
She says it's a lot easier here because back home, when you're doing farms and like rice fields, you have to rely on the rain. And if there's no rain, then they don't get to eat. But here, there's always tourists.
Right.
This village is one of many in northern Thailand that draws in crowds of tourists from near and far. Curious travelers who want to witness the ancient ways of the Kayan people. Bamboo houses sit on stilts, and villagers wear their traditional garb. To visitors, it may look real, but this village and others like it are a staged, paid tourist attraction. Put rather cynically, it's a human zoo.
See here that their way of life has changed considerably in the last few generations. This is how they make money now. To be in this village period, you had to pay admission to be able to come in here at all. And then of course they hope that in addition to that, people will buy any of their several handicrafts here. They have carvings, they have different jewelry made out of bronze, knickknacks, all the stuff that I'm not a big fan of. The woman standing next to me right now, she has a bunch of pictures of her throughout her life and when she was younger. Here, a rare glimpse of what it looks like when they actually take the necklace off. You can see her neck looks differently here than somebody who has never worn this kind of a necklace or these kind of neck rings. I want something to always remember this place by. This is an exact replica of what the women wear around their neck. So I'll be taking this home with me. Thank you very much. She said I can have it for free. Just kidding. How much is this?
For me, this place is a bit of a mindfuck. I find myself attempting to assess what's real and what isn't. I even try assessing what real even means. If the tourists never came, their houses would likely look the same. Though the tables strewn with long neck merch would not. The clothes, the rings, the language, it's all been preserved here. But I still can't help but feel like they're living their lives for an audience. So, what about the food? Lee and her community are preparing a uniquely Cajun dish. They toast and grind chilies and peppercorns, minced pork liver and kidney, chopped spring onions, coriander, and cilantro. All this is for one dish, the sausage. Minced pork and spices are stuffed into an intestinal casing. They boil it to cook it through and grill it to crisp it up.
Right now we are in a traditional Gaiyan kitchen. It's about what you would expect. It's a shack, it's made out of wood, there's a fireplace in the middle and a couple different places for cooking, for putting pots. Here, this is a sausage. Take a look at that. It's a big, beautiful sausage, brown, greasy, full of flavor. The way they make sausage here is with a different spice. This spice, they love it so much, they import it from Myanmar. I don't believe this is the original packaging. I think that was improvised packaging, right? It smells like a head shop that you'd go to in California that would have some kind of a crazy name for the weed, like long neck weed.
This rare peppercorn is called Makwan.
Oh, you want some?
No.
No.
Like its cousins, Szechuan and Sancho peppers. It's peppery, but incredibly numbing too.
Dude, the back of my throat is numb. What is going on? I can't feel my throat. Drink some, she said drink some water. Oh, that is a lot of flavor. There's like a sour element, a sweet element. It's not spicy though, it's just a flavor explosion. So that is one of the main ingredients in this sausage, including a lot of pork parts. Oh yes, let's try it out. Loaded with herbs and spices. This is super juicy, full of porky goodness, big chunks of meat, and then tons of spices too. You can just literally open it up and see the raw spices. Well, not raw, whole spices. Sorry, I can't think because all the blood is in my throat. How you doing? She's laughing at me. The skin of the sausage is so good because it's made out of intestine, it's snappy, it's full of fat, and you can taste that really unique spice. It has such a distinct flavor. I'm a big fan of that.
You've heard of some cultures eating nose to tail. Well, here they also eat the bones. Our main course will incorporate several techniques you've surely not witnessed before. It starts with the dispatching of the bird. The woman plucks a single feather from the chicken, then turns it against the animal, piercing the back of its neck and severing its spine. I have never seen anything like it. The chickens are plucked and cleaned. The organs and head are put to the side, and the rest is chopped fine, minced down to nothing. Not just the meat, but everything, bones and all. This is an absolute first for me. Next, add white chives to the mince, then Thai chili, ground Makwan peppercorns, crushed peanuts, salt, and a sprinkle of that magical MSG. This bony mixture is portioned out and wrapped in parcels made from fresh Bianjai leaves. Boil it in hot water, then get someone to show you how to eat it.
First of all, I want to say thank you for this incredible meal. I didn't know what to expect when it came to food here, but this is blowing me away. So the sausage, I already tried that. That was awesome. And then here in these leaves is chicken. I've seen something similar, but usually they would cut the chicken into maybe 9 pieces. Here, how many pieces did you cut the chicken into? Oh my gosh, we're gonna see that soon. What is this?
It's vegetable stew.
The soup is a boiled blend of pumpkin, potatoes, bamboo shoots, green beans, and green mustard, all seasoned with a little bit of salt.
You eat the rice first, and then you get a bit of soup.
It's delicious. Interesting because this is such mild flavors. It just tastes like a nice homemade vegetable broth. It's very gentle. Meanwhile, the sausage over here is wild. It's very intense compared to this. And then here, similar preparation to this morning where it's bound in a leaf. I'm gonna open it up. What do you call this? Jaicho. This is like an absolute mash. It is like they put that chicken in a blender. The texture of this is so cool because it is kind of like a sausage without any casing. So what is the purpose of just macerating the chicken like that and getting it into these very, very small pieces?
มันต้องให้เข้า
They mince it up a lot so that the spices can mix in really well.
Is it possible that you're gonna bite on a bone?
ไม่ก็
Yes, sometimes, but it's pretty well chopped
Pretty,
up.
oh, so even the bones are so finely chopped that we can just eat and digest the bones too?
Yes.
Why do you want to eat bones?
ใช่ก็เราให้
Just like more meat.
That makes sense. Chickens here are very thin. They're like marathon runners. What do I do with that?
You can spit it out.
Ironically, you know who's going to eat these pieces that I throw out?
The chickens?
The chickens. It's like true recycling. Incredible flavors. Somehow it's juicy. Did you add fat to this?
ไม่
Nope. They're saying the type of chicken you use is the chicken that's about to lay an egg. So there's like eggs inside of it.
I saw when it was being cut up, there was like a big yellow sack inside.
Yes, the eggs.
Okay, so that has a lot more fat content
Yeah.
then, right? It just tastes like they almost put pork fat inside. It's so yummy. But I feel a little rude because I have to keep spitting out bones.
เจ๊ถ้าเขาเคยกินแล้วเขาจะ
Saying if you had it before, then you'll just eat the bones like normal.
I was worried about being rude and it turns out I am. Okay, I'm gonna eat the bones.
ก็ติดคอ
Easy. This is a pleasant surprise. One of my favorite things I've had in this trip in northern Thailand. I love it. This is your home, but it's also essentially a tourist attraction. It's a place where tourists can come and they can walk by your home, they can walk by your shops and see your day-to-day life. Do you ever feel claustrophobic just seeing tourists every single day?
ไม่
She wasn't shy at all. She was actually quite happy when a lot of the tourists came. The more people, the better.
It makes sense to me. More people means more prosperity, more chances to sell some items or more people paying more admission to come in and see this place. Do you have children?
She has 4 kids, 2 girls and 2 boys.
With the girls, do they have the same ornate neck rings that you have?
ไม่มีค่ะเพราะว่าทั้งสมัยแล้วแกอยากไปโรงเรียนด้วยเพราะว่าอยากให้เขามีความรู้
She wants her kids to have the opportunity to go to school and to get education. So she decided not to give them the rings because they're very different from the other kids. But she wants her kids to prosper more than she did so they can go work outside and have a better life, and that's what she wants for them.
Help me decide whether to climb a hill or shoot for the moon. I can't abide by.
There's no doubt this is a very touristy place. Actually, the whole foundation, the whole existence depends now on tourism. They built a life where they are the attraction, where they are the commodity that people want to come view and see. And at first I thought there's kind of a grossness or a cheapness to this idea that people can just pay an entry ticket and then gaze in literally into your life, into your home, into your intimate moments. But at the same time, they're making a living. In the past, they probably would have been doing traditional women's duties, cleaning, cooking, taking care of children. The men would have been out on the farm. Now the men are not on the farm because there's no farming for them to do. They're working odd jobs in the city, they're fixing stuff, and the women are doing this. So at the end of the day, is it a bad thing that they found a way to monetize their life? Literally their life, the way they live has become a way for them to generate revenue and money and existence going forward into the future. I mean, who am I to tell them they should shut this down? For what? To do what? And to gain money how? Should the government take care of them? I don't think it's so cut and dry. I don't think it's so easy to say this is a bad thing. On the positive side, the culture is preserved. It goes on into the future for future generations. On the negative side, it does feel like there's a certain amount of exploitation taking place, but is it exploitation if you're exploiting yourself to some extent? I don't think there's such a clear answer to that question. So my goal in this video was to just learn more about the lifestyle of these people, but unfortunately that's inextricably connected to the heartbeat of tourism in this country as well. Is it good? Is it bad? I guess that's up to you to decide. Best Ever Food Review Show is a small team of independent creators, and everything we do here works because of you guys. Click the link in our description to join our Patreon and receive exclusive benefits. A peace. I'm 37.
แต่เขายังหนุ่มอยู่
Oh, she says you look young too.
Wink. Thank you. This is her taking a nap. This really unique, semi-dangerous spice. It has a numbing effect. Thank God I spit it out. If I kept it in any longer, maybe my lungs would forget how to breathe. How long does it last?
In their culture, they consider that to be a beautiful thing.
My wife has 0 neck rings. Does that bump her down to like an 8? So between men and women now, who is the provider?
But now they're pretty much equal income.
Do you have any men feeling insignificant, like they can't contribute what the women can? Such a guy question. Is this something that you had for as long as you can remember?
ใช่
Yes.
What do you think? Before I go, I want to say a huge thank you to Chiang Foodie Tours. The woman behind that company is putting on incredible food experiences for travelers coming here, and she also helped us make this whole production possible. A food tour is a great way to not waste any time. Go to all the best spots and hit up many spots in one night. I highly recommend doing her food tour when you come to the city. Otherwise, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. All right. I want to find a way to get my neck shortened. And even wider. Yeah, that'd be nice.